My name is Elyssa Salinas. I'm a theology student. I'm studying to be a pastor. I'm also a poet, and I'm going to be presenting or showing you three of my poems, a set of three called Conversations. So the first one is a conversation I never expected to have. I was made with more than flesh in mind. A mind, imagine that, a mind that reasons and wonders why. All you see are body parts, mountains and valleys that you can walk over and conquer, not afraid of rough terrain or how it will fight back. Just looking for a place to stick your flag, a claim for all to see. You saw, you came, and you conquered. I was made with more than flesh in mind, given the gift of womanhood, of soft curves, short stature, and the hope that one day I will meet her. The woman I'm supposed to become, the woman everyone seems so excited to meet. I was given the gift of womanhood, a package filled with more than sugar in the raw and spices to fill the rack. My womanhood lay underneath tissue paper and ribbon, gently laid and ready to be assembled. My limbs were put together by women older and wiser than me, fastened me piece by piece, putting my arm in a socket, showing me how to embrace a sister, a mother, and telling me one day I won't need any instruction. When I embrace a lover, I'll get enough practice when I find him. Placing my hips low to the ground with a laying on of hands, showing me how to sway when a beat calls to me. They place my feet firmly on the ground and tell me each step I take will lead me through pain unbearable and toward pleasure unimaginable. I was given this gift of womanhood, not you. As much as you might think my hips sway only in your direction, my body submits simply to your touch, or my lips never speak anything but your name. You are mistaken. My body is not a present for you to unwrap and discard when you're done playing. My body is a gift from God with my name on the tag. A God that gave me the ability to create or wait or just say no if I choose. My hips are not just childbearing, they are weight-bearing, rhythm-making, melody-moving, and cocked from side to side, depending on my mood. These breasts are not meant for you to unclasp and set free, to fondle as you dream. They were meant for me, to push down, push up, fill out my dress if I see fit, and if I want you to step from that plate to touch a new base, I will tell you. And what I hold between my legs was never meant to be called chastity, virginity, purity, or honor. It was never meant to be property, a bicycle, or a revolving door. What I hold between my legs is not called shame. It has a name, all its own, but what I choose and do not have to share with you. What I hold between my legs is beauty beyond measure, ecstasy without ceasing, a point of pleasure and pain, of life and death, and it is by invitation only that you get to come. I have the God-given gift of being a woman, and what rests between my legs is divine pleasure. What resides between my thighs is something more than a switch, labeled Madonna and whore, virgin and slut, prude and pleasing. What I hold between my legs is more than a fleshy existence, more than a quick night or fleeting fancy. It is a place where life begins, where existence is known, and where more women have been hurt than you can imagine. I never thought I would have to explain that my body belongs to me, that it is my own, that it does not belong to you. I never thought my decisions would give you ownership of a body you do not take care of. A nice dinner might fill my belly, but do not think of it as admission to play games and ride around as you please. Take a spin all the way to the top, and if you like it, make it spin again. Pay a little extra, and maybe it will go backwards. I was made with more than flesh in mind. I have the God-given gift that you try to turn into something I should hide or something I should give away. But I have decided to keep this present. This ever-present gift that is God-given, the gift of being a woman, of soft curves, short stature, and the hope that one day I will be her, the woman that everyone seems so excited to meet. My second piece is a conversation with a woman just as confused as I am. I met her one day, and what felt like a dream, but it must have been her reality. An open space carpeted in brown acrylic off in the distance. It looked like dirt. Still wet, it stained my bare feet, but as she walked toward me, each step she took dried the paint under her shoes. I wanted her to speak first, but I knew she was waiting for me to confront what I had been thinking. Frida, what does it mean to be a woman? Frida, when I paint myself, it begins simply, but then characters come to my canvas and try to rip me apart, pull me in opposite directions. I yell and scream, but it doesn't stop. Frida, do you think the heart lives after it breaks, or does it become dead flesh, infecting the rest of your body? Frida, am I going too fast? Frida, can you paint when you are happy? Frida, what does it mean to be mestiza, mixed and muddled? Frida, will I ever feel whole and complete, or continue to live in a tattered existence, picking up every scrap I can find and sewing it to myself, and one day maybe I'll have enough patches to keep myself warm? Frida, do you see God? She hangs between two worlds, almost like a mirage of herself, a line barely there, and answers, I see God when I look in the mirror. That is why I paint myself. I spend most of my time alone, thinking about the creation of a face, about the creation of a mind. I try to capture myself in these moments through my paintings, but they are never enough. Existence is never enough. There must be something more, something that we wrestle with each day, and something that we fall in love with when we least expect. Our existence is right here, right now. That cannot change unless we accept the reality we live in, no matter how much it seems like a dream. I know I overwhelm you. I overwhelm myself. Frida says, I know what you are really saying. I can tell that you want to say more. You want to ask me about heartbreak and disappointment, about where to turn when someone leaves your arms and you can barely open your eyes from weeping. What do you do when you feel that your heart is more alive than it has ever been because of the immense pain that you live with, sleep with, eat with, and laugh with? How do you know that, Frida? Because I am like you. I have loved in places where the sun shines too brightly, in places where nothing lasts, and where wrong decisions seem perfect. I know the look of personal torture and the pain that never goes away, waking up to their image and praying that one day you can forget them, but that prayer will never be answered. What do I do, Frida? My cacahuate, my little Elyssa, listen. Leaving is not enough. You must stay gone. You do not pick up your phone when you see his name. Train your heart like a dog. Change the locks, all of them. You have an apartment just your size, a bathtub full of tea, a heart the size of Arizona, but not nearly so arid. It is vast, and though it looks empty, it is ready to be filled up. Don't wash away your cracked past, your curly hair, your problems are papier-mâché puppets. You just had to have them. You just had to have him, and you did. And now you stand in the doorway, you wait to answer him. You take a lover for granted who looks at you like maybe you are magic. Make the first bottle you consume in this place a relic. Place it on whatever altar you fashion with a knife and 5 cranberries. Don't lose too much weight. Stupid girls are always trying to disappear as revenge, and you are not stupid. You are much smarter than you believe. You loved a man with more hands than a parade of beggars, with words sweeter than honey and promises that shatter like sugar glass. Yet here you stand, heart like a 4-poster bed, heart like a canvas, heart leaking something so strong they can smell it in the street. Frida, I feel like I should be asking you about identity, about the Mexicana inside of me, trying to figure out what to say, what to do. Instead, I ask you about my heart, which feels like a waste of time. She says that the heart is never a waste and leaves it at that. Frida, what happens when you feel like you can't trust yourself anymore, that every decision you made with your heart was wrong, and all those times you knew something, you ended up more broken than before? Frida takes a step toward me, wraps one of my curls around her finger and says, my cacahuate, my little Elyssa, you give yourself another chance. You always give yourself another chance. And